Hey everybody, welcome to the Patty G Show. I'm your host, Patty G, here with Jeff Vaccaro from The House. I didn't butcher that, right?
Got
Vaccaro,
it right.
not Vaccaro.
Vaccaro, absolutely.
Vaccaro, perfect. We're going to be talking about bars, why you would buy one, how you can buy one at such a young age while you're still in college, and also surviving COVID. Before we get started, big shout out to our wonderful sponsors, Falaya Real Estate and Government Taco. Stay tuned to the end, hear a little bit more about them. But without further ado, Jeff, welcome to the show, man.
Good to be here.
I'm glad we were able to make this happen.
Absolutely.
Took a little few months out to plan it, but we're here.
You're a busy man.
The show is busy. I'm not a busy man. The show is busy.
Absolutely.
But since you are here, who are you, man? What do you do?
So I'm Jeff Vaccaro. I own a college bar in Tigerland, The House. We are a bar for LSU students and alumni. 18 to 23 is kind of our target. We put on a party every night.
Party every night. Well, Tuesdays through Saturday.
Tuesday through Saturday.
Not every night. Don't show up on Sunday after church.
We keep the Lord's Day holy.
That's right. That's right. No Sunday brunches.
No.
Although that patio.
It could host one.
Sunday brunch with your pizzas.
Yeah, it could work. Breakfast pizza.
I love it. So how did you get into this, man? I mean, it's a bar. You're not a very well advanced man in years.
Yes.
So you're a young feller. How'd you get here, dude?
So I started working there when I was about 18 years old. I just went there a lot, obviously, as people in college do, go to a college bar. And I figured, I'm spending all of my money here. I might as well work here and try to get some stuff for free. And so started working there and, really enjoyed it. And at first it was just kind of a fun college job. And then kind of as I got to get past the door and kind of into bartending and into, like becoming an assistant manager before general manager, you get to kind of see more of the business side of stuff, which was what I was really interested in. And I was like, wow, this isn't just like a place where I come and just drink and have a good time. Like this is a business.
Yeah,
and,
this is actually a business.
Yeah, and I was just kind of like, whoa, it's like a business just like any other business I've always been interested in. And so, it was just really fun to see stuff on that side of things. And that's when I got, I guess, interested in it.
Okay, so what did you major in while you're at LSU?
I was in finance at LSU.
Okay, so you're already in the business mind.
Yeah.
And those curious thoughts are running through your head. Well, how much, if I'm paying $6 for this beer, what is it costing them?
Right. My head was all around that. Trust me.
Gotcha. So working the front and, I think the big thing for any college student is if you offer them free stuff, they're there.
Yes, they will come.
Free food, even more will come.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of, at least pre-COVID, that was kind of our model. It was like, we're going to do free drinks 8 to 10. And you bring that, you go to other schools and say that and they're like, what? You do free drinks? How does that work?
Wait, that doesn't happen outside of LSU?
No, dude. It's like an LSU thing. And,
really?
And so we do it. I mean, we were doing it 4 or 5 nights a week before COVID. And, and people ask her like, how does that work? And it's like, well, you're drinking vodka. It's a college bar. That bottle is $5. You pay a $5 cover at the door. As long as you don't drink a bottle of liquor in 2 hours, well then, we're all right. We're going to break even.
Somebody might try to beat that though.
Yeah, they might. Start paying people $1 to come drink here. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So that was y'all's big thing. That was kind of how y'all got everybody through the door.
Absolutely.
Was that free cover.
Yeah.
And then COVID kind of came in.
Yeah. COVID changed some stuff for us a little bit for the whole industry.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what was that like for y'all?
It kind of like we were talking about before the show, to get college, young adults to come out to Tigerland, a college bar, and sit down at a table for 4 or 5 hours and drink and tell them, hey, don't get up. And if you do get up to go to the bathroom, put your mask on, yada, yada, yada. That's really tough to do.
Yeah.
With a room full of drunk college kids. So, it was a challenge. I'm glad that, for now, that part's over.
Yeah. COVID is no more.
Yeah. For now. We hope.
Yeah. So, okay. So you were working for them, enjoying your free stuff.
Yeah.
Then you started seeing the business side of things. I mean, how do you, at such a young age, purchase a bar?
So I was
because what age were you when you bought the bar, just for reference?
So I was 20 years old.
20. So you couldn't even legally drink beer and you bought
correct.
a bar.
That's correct. My partner was 23.
Okay, all right.
So he was the grown man in our business relationship.
Grown man at 23.
Yeah. So, the old owners, I think, were kind of ready to get out. And, there's 3 of them, two of them had been recently married, and they were starting to think about having kids and this, that, and the other. And so they were kind of like, hey, we're done with this. We're ready to get out. Would y'all have any interest in buying it? And they approached me and Casey with that. And we were like, well, absolutely. What 20 and 23-year-old wouldn't have interest in buying it?
We own a bar? Just think of all the parties.
That's so cool. And we told them, we're like, we would love to, but the problem is we don't have any money, man. Like, we've been bartending here, we've been working door here, managing here, whatever. And so they were able to work a deal out with us. They did some owner financing and stuff, and we're really grateful to them for that. They kind of helped us get our start in it, and so we're super grateful for that.
So then you do the owner financing, which is brilliant, by the way. I mean, that's a question for young entrepreneurs that they need to be asking if they're going to purchase a business, whatever
Absolutely.
it is. Be like, hey, look, I don't have the cash. I've either worked for you for so long, or I've got a good reputation. I'm a hustle. Why don't we talk owner financing?
Yeah.
I'll pay you ever so much every month, and we'll set up a purchase price, and we'll start working that debt down. And that way you can have your hands completely off, and we'll be running the day-to-day operations. And
absolutely.
You'd be surprised how many people will actually look at that and say, okay, this is not a bad deal for me.
Absolutely. And I think that's what they saw interest in is, we gave them a slightly higher purchase price than it was probably worth.
You give them a premium.
You pay a premium, but we were able to get our foot in the door with very little capital. And so exactly like you said, if there's entrepreneurs out there that are looking to get their foot in the door with something that they cannot afford, then at the time, then I think owner financing is an awesome way to go about stuff.
And then you have the opportunity of saying, hey, I'm 20 and I own a bar.
Yeah. It'll be really cool conversation.
My employees can't legally serve me, but I own the place.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
They should have they don't have any rules. You can't. How can you buy alcohol for a bar? It just blows my mind.
It blew my mind too. And that was one of the first questions my mom and dad had when I told them, I was like, hey, I think I'm going to buy a bar. They're like, Jeffrey, you can't even buy a Michelob.
How are you going to put an order in for the bar?
Yeah. How are you going to buy 20 cases of vodka? And I'm like, well, my lawyer says it's not a problem. And so, I think it's just kind of similar to when you're a bartender, you can serve the alcohol while 18, you just can't consume it. And I think since we were purchasing it through an entity that held a ABC and ATC license,
hey, you met the qualifications.
Yeah, we were good to go on paper. Yeah.
Clearly they don't have any age requirements. Except 18 maybe.
Yeah, maybe 18. I would assume. I would hope.
Oh yeah. Well, because bartenders have to be 18, right?
Bartenders have to be 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then how do you navigate the rest of your college career? I mean, you're 20, you're a sophomore?
I was a sophomore.
Buying a company. How do you navigate it after that?
So I did it for one more semester, and then decided this is something I'm really interested in, not just the house, but business as a whole. And I really enjoyed doing it. I think I was decent at it, and so I was like, this is something I want to pursue. I was learning a lot on the fly, just kind of getting tossed to the fire, and so. I did one more semester and decided, hey, I think I'm going to focus on this. And that's what I did.
Okay. So it was a sophomore and a half. You were like, hey, I'm done with college.
Yeah.
And how was that? How did your parents take that?
They're here now. You hear the little laugh in the back. They weren't too fond of it up front. But I think after that first year or two, we were able to grow the business a little bit in some areas. Obviously, we were there every night. And so we saw some areas where they were leaving some money on the table, or, they weren't capitalizing on some subsets of the market that we thought they could capitalize on. And, we were there every night. So we were able to see that, and we put that in place. And, after that first year and a half, I think they kind of started realizing well, maybe Jeffrey was right. Maybe he can run a bar. Maybe
he knows a little bit about a bar.
Yeah, maybe he can treat it like a business. And so, and so that's the other thing though, is that, as soon as we bought it, I pretty much stopped drinking. I mean, I drink, maybe 4 times a year, and it's like right now I'm just having this beer. It's just, not that I don't like it or that I can't control myself when I do it. It's just, I like being sober.
Yeah. You like being fully aware of everything that's happening. And especially as a business owner, you can't you can't show up to do your job. I mean, I'm sure you've seen an episode or a dozen of Bar Rescue. You know, what's the biggest thing that they say when they go to meet the owners? They're drunk when they're working their shift. They're hammered.
Yeah.
And so they can't operate the bar very well. And that's why the business is failing.
Absolutely.
So you keep that sober mind, that clear mind, you can run it very well.
Absolutely. And there, you know, there's a ton of liability in it. And you just always want to have that clear mind running around. And, you know, if you see something that doesn't look right or you see somebody that needs, you know, some help, they're passed out, whatever it is, you know, you're aware and you can help that person and get them up, find their friends, get them a water, give them a slice of pizza, you know, whatever it is. And so being sober in that aspect while you're there, it's always been better for me. And I felt like I can do my job better when I am.
Yeah, and then if anyone ever comes in and starts questioning, you know, wanting to talk to the owner, you don't have to run and hide and be like, no, I'm here front and center, let's do it.
I think that's part of what it probably was up front, is that I was 20 and I was just terrified that ATC was going to roll in and be like, where's the owner? And breathalyze me or something. And so I just was like terrified for 6 months. And then after that, I was like, you know, I do my job way better when I'm sober. So yeah.
I think that especially when you acquire a business or you get into a business and become a business owner at such a young age, that maturity level just skyrockets.
Absolutely.
Because it's no longer, hey, we're going out on a Friday night to have fun. You're saying, no, I'm going on a Friday night to make sure everybody else has fun. Not because I'm their DD, but because I own the place where they're going.
Right. Exactly. I mean, you're exactly right. Like the whole aspect of the way I viewed it had to shift. Like my friends were still coming out to the place that I own now. And I had to be like, you know, no, I can't take that Jaeger bomb with you, man. I'm making sure everybody else has a great time, making sure the music's awesome, making sure people, you know, are you know, the bathrooms are clean, the countertops are clean, this, that, and the other. Like, you know, I'm focused on running a business, making sure you have fun. I can't drink with you. I'm sorry.
Right. I'm just, you know, it's like a restaurant owner. You know, you have to be running around, focused on the behind the scenes.
Right.
When everybody, all they see is that clean table with that clean plate.
Right. Exactly.
So how did you kind of go against, because I mean, for a year you were really going against your parents, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, just because I thinking about it, you know, back, you know, when I was starting companies, my parents, I come from an entrepreneurial family. They're like, oh yeah, sure, you know, do whatever it is, but it was never that, oh, I'm gonna drop out, and like never that big leap
step,
which is a big leap. I mean, because your parents, I guess, had this mindset, you know, of, oh, this my kid, you know, has got to be someone in my head that I want them to be.
Yeah.
You know,
no,
and then when you're saying, hey, nah.
No, you know, they supported me. They wanted what's best for me. It's not that they never like, you know, discouraged me from going after what I wanted. It was just more of like, hey, you just need to be really sure before you make this decision. And if you decide after that conversation with yourself that you're ready to do this and you want to take this step, we're behind you. And so I you know, called him up one day and said, hey, I want to do this. I love doing it. I love the marketing. I love, you know, like making sure everybody has a great time, throwing a party every night. I really enjoy it. I think we're good at it. And they said, all right, well, we believe in you. You know, you have our support. And so I'm really thankful to them. And, you know, like my sister, she was a good way to discuss it with my parents without me directly discussing it with my parents.
Dude, let me bounce this idea off of you.
Right. And she would go in and slide in a good word for me and be like, you know, Mom, I think you could probably do it.
And that is huge. You know, having parents that are, you know, that loving, that understanding to say, look, it may not be what we envisioned, you know, our 20-year-old behind a bar, but we're there with you every step of the way. And I think that is like a very first step for any entrepreneur. It's if they're young, you know, having those parents be like, look, if it's something you really want to do, what can we do to help? You know, and that's huge to make sure that kind of continues. Yeah, no, I mean, they from when I was a kid, I mean, I was always doing lemonade stands, this, that, and the other, lawn care business, whatever. And they were just always like, you know, if you work at something and you like it, most importantly, you like it, you have fun with what you do, and you believe in it, and that's something you want to do, and you know, work hard at it, we'll support you. Dude, talk about good money, lawn care businesses.
Man.
So I had one. My brothers and I, we started one. My oldest brother was 16. I was 11. and we started
Putting you to work.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We started cutting grass, and whenever they went off to college, I took over the company, and it was me and one other guy, and like we would work 3 days a week, and that's all we needed to work.
Yeah, like, that was it.
We had more than
Make
we
your
knew to do with.
$35-$40 a cut. And
And you get in a neighborhood, and you are a young age, so all the parents live in the neighborhood. Oh, they're just doing some good things.
That's so
you could
cute.
Come, exactly.
Yeah.
We played into that a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. Me and my buddy, we did it one from about 16 years old till I guess when we bought the bar, and when we were 20, so 4 years, we played into it too. We were just like, oh, we're the good old high school kid down the block. And like, meanwhile, me and him, like behind the scenes, we're cutting these yards. We get back in the truck and we're like, man, we want to take Angelo's out of business. We're trying to get 1,000 yards.
I love it.
Yeah, man.
So you've always had this entrepreneurial push, this drive since a young age.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of it was my family helping out with that kind of stuff and supporting me through that. And then the friends that I guess I just kind of graduated to with in high school and stuff were, business minded as well, and were super driven. And so, when you have friends like that, and then you go home to a family like that, that's always super supportive and like allows you to, think and dream and like come up with these master plans, whether you think it's a really good idea and they think it's a really bad idea or not, like. They'll sit you down, they'll let you down easy, or they'll build you up if they think it's a good idea. And so I think being around those kind of people, really helps.
Yeah, it's that environment plays such a critical factor.
Absolutely.
For any successful business person or entrepreneur, whether it's their 60s starting a new company and they need the support of their family, whether all their kids or their wife or whomever, or they just need, a good friend to say, look, it's not the worst idea I've heard.
Yeah, my mom is so she's a CPA actually too, and so
oh really? CPAs represent.
Absolutely. And so when I have a new idea or me and my dad have a new idea, we'll go to my mom and say, hey, can you put this on paper? Tell us if this works. And sometimes I call her the dream crusher. But she's always right. She's always right. She'll put it on paper and she's like, Jeffrey, it doesn't make, as much money as you thought it was going to make. And I'm like, oh man, that sucks. But okay, thanks for the help. So it's really good to have that in the family as well too. As somebody
100%.
That I can go to with business stuff and say, hey, look, I think, and I usually go to my dad first and say, hey, I think this is an awesome idea. And he thinks it's an awesome idea. I say, let's approach Mom.
All right, let's bring it to the judge.
Yeah, absolutely. And so she's kind of the final fail safe before I do anything. So that's awesome to have that.
I love it. And you think how much of a role or how much of an impact did that kind of surroundings have on you?
I think it was huge. I mean, I think that's probably, why a lot of people that are business minded and stuff like that are the way that they are is just, you're product of the environment that you're raised in. And like I used to go, at night, 8:30, I'd go, I'm 10 years old. I'd go crawl up on my mom and watch her plug in spreadsheets. And I'm like, what's this mean? What's EBITDA? What's this? She's like, well, Jeffrey, you're getting a little ahead of yourself. But, she'd explain stuff to me. And so I always, it was just like, wow, I thought that was really cool. My mom did it. My dad was interested in it. I was like, that's really cool. I want to be like them. And so I took an interest in it.
I like it. And then you went the finance route, not the accounting route.
Yeah. Accounting, no offense, accounting was always a little boring to me.
Boring?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I get it. I get it. I had Melissa Torito, who is a CPA at Falcon Winkler. She came on a couple weeks ago.
I listened to that episode.
And like her and I beforehand, we were just chatting and we were going on and on about, how's tax season going, blah, blah, all this stuff. Yeah. And then like we had I think a 5-minute session within the show where we just started geeking out over accounting stuff. And we were all like, oh, this is great. We look at the crowd, everybody's sitting there. It's like, oh, what is, all right, next.
Yeah.
So, okay, man. So you leave LSU, you do this full time.
Yeah.
What is it? I mean, what is it like running a bar? I mean, you're only open so many hours a day. Does your sleep schedule shift? I mean,
my sleep schedule's really bad. I'm not gonna lie, it's really bad. I still only sleep like 6 to 8 hours like normal people.
That's good. That's good.
My 6 to 8 hours come at like 4 a.m. to 10 a.m. Like that's my schedule. And so and it's a little tough. Like nights like tonight, we're not open. On Monday night, we're recording this. And like tonight, I probably still won't go to sleep till 2 just because,
your body gets used to it.
Body's used to it. Right. And I usually do a lot of work stuff that late at night. Like, everybody else is asleep, your phone's not buzzing, this, that, and the other. And you can kind of sit down and think through something or catch up on some of your QuickBooks stuff, this, that, and the other. And so I find it kind of peaceful that late at night.
Dude, I love to hear how like involved on the financial side of things you are. You're not just out there running it and trusting someone else to run it. You're like, no, I'm every step of the way. Like beforehand, you were going through invoices and seeing how much does this actually cost?
Right. But I got to give it to my partner, Casey. I couldn't make you a drink or a shot if you asked me to. He's the bar guy. He's the one who makes the wheels turn on that end. I just offer up what I can offer up. But as far as all that stuff goes, he is 10 times better than I am. And he's the man at all that stuff. So I got a great partner.
Yeah. Well, you need that in a business.
Absolutely.
You need someone with both sides of the equation, someone who can look at the business financing of everything, and someone who looks at the day-to-day, hey, why don't we try this new drink out? Why don't we offer this as a special? Mm-hmm. You need that creative person from that side, and it's a good, yin and yang relationship.
Yeah. And then another thing, like you were talking about, like specials and stuff, like we take our managers out. Like we've got 3 college managers, and we got 1 full-time GM, and we take them out to eat. Every Monday we go and we call it spin the wheel. We spin the wheel. We put 6 restaurants in a wheel generator on Google, and we just spin the wheel. We go try a new restaurant every week. And so,
I love it.
Like
it has to be a new place I haven't been to before.
New place every week that we've never been to. And so
I love that.
We'll go there and we're just hanging out. We take care of all the work stuff before we leave, and then we'll go to lunch. And that's a really good way to just, we're sitting out, we're having fun with them. And that's where majority of our good ideas come from, honestly, is them. They're just like, hey, have y'all ever thought about doing this? Have you ever thought about doing that? And we listen to them because the reason we were successful in the beginning is because we were the age of the people that were coming to our establishment. And so now they're that age. And so we put a ton of stock into what they say. Like they have their fingers on the pulse of, what's going around campus. And so we're like, yeah, absolutely. If you've got an idea that you think's going to work, run it by us. If we like it, yeah, we'll try it. Absolutely. We're not scared to try anything.
Dude, and that tone at the top sets you up for success right there.
Yeah.
I mean, being able to be the owners of the company and looking at your managers and your lower level employees and say, look, you have an idea, just bring it to us. Don't be afraid. Yeah. If you think it's a bad idea, bring it to us. We'll chat about it. Like you said, they're your demographic you're after. Yeah. So who better than to learn from?
It's a free focus group.
Yeah. Very true.
Yeah. I mean, we have a group meeting. We've got about 50, 55 part-time employees. They're all college students. And if we're looking to do something, this, that, and the other, we have a work group me, and you can do polls in it. And we'll straight up just send a poll. We'll be like, hey, what do y'all think? And they'll vote and they'll say, Jeff, that's a terrible idea. No, we shouldn't do that. Or, hey, yeah, that could probably work.
Board, Jeff.
Yeah, yeah. And they'll tell me, which is awesome, to have that level of, honesty with them is they're not afraid to tell me Jeff, that probably won't work. And I'm like, awesome, good, great feedback. Back to the drawing board. Yeah. We'll find something that does.
Exactly. And then when it does, it'll stick and it'll be really better than the first one.
Absolutely.
So when you bought the house, what kind of a condition was it in? We were talking before, the handful of times I've been there pre-renovation. Yeah. It was not. Yeah, no, not what it is today.
It wasn't top tier facilities. I'll give you that.
That's right.
It was pretty beat up. It had been built in late 70s, and it was just a really old building, and nobody, I guess, really had a reason to put some money into it and pick it back up again. And so this past year, 2020, we thought, maybe it's time to get some working bathrooms,
at least more than one stall working.
Right. Let's get rid of these, these really old ceiling tiles that have absorbed smoke from when you could smoke in bars. Let's get rid of all this stuff. And so we did a renovation, and we think we have the best facilities out there now, and so that's been a big draw. For people, and hopefully will be for years to come. Is just you can come there, you can expect a clean, fun environment. You got plenty of bathrooms. We've had some people come in, literally pay $5 cover just so they can come use the bathroom. Because no other bathrooms out there work, and so they're like, oh yeah, oh my god,
yeah, we need a clean bathroom for the night. So and on that, Tigerland as a whole, it's with y'all starting at renovations and some other bars looking to start renovations. It looks like it's trying to make a turn and make a new face of itself. I mean, what does that look like? What would that be like for the community if everyone was to go in? Maybe not, to the exact scale, but at least kind of revamp the places.
No,
What do you think that would do?
Yeah, no, I think it would be huge. Number one, for just perception, like, you got to think about, I don't know, 40% of our customers like are in school. They're in school full time. They might have a little college job. For the most part, most of the income comes from mom and dad. And like, if they see stories about how terrible Tigerland is and disgusting and this, that, and the other, like they're going to say, well, little Jimmy, you probably shouldn't be spending money at these places anymore. Maybe you should go check out X, Y, and Z. And so I think it'd be huge just perception wise if, even if we just did a small scale revamp, which I've talked to, some of the other owners out there and they're super interested in doing it. And I think they will. And I think that's going to be awesome for the area as a whole and just nightlife at LSU. I mean, like to put us back on par with like Oxford, Ole Miss, with Tuscaloosa, Alabama, with, Athens, Georgia, we're a football school. We're
a big university.
Yeah, we're a quote unquote party school. We got 30,000 students. Like, let's give them a place to be proud of. And like, when away game kids come here, like send them back being like, whoa, I wish we had Tigerland, and not vice versa. When our people go to Oxford, they come back and they're like, God, we have Tigerland.
Yeah, we only have Tigerland.
And so we're trying to change that. And I think it was we took a step in the right direction, and I think some people are going to follow.
So how was it managing construction? I mean, did you have any background in construction?
I absolutely did not.
What did that process look like for you?
So I got to give a shout out my contractor. Our GC was Rhett Bourgeois with R&B Builders, and he's a family friend, and he's like best friends with my older cousin, who is like 35, 38, whatever. But always really looked up to him. And so when I wanted to do it, he was my first call. And he's like, I'd love to help you with this. I'd love to help you with this. And so he was kind of our guide through that. He was our GC, but he was also our guide through that whole process. And so he kind of dumbed some stuff down for me and brought it down to layman's terms on what was going on. Yeah. And then, I went to my dad and I was just like, hey, kind of how does this process work? Break it down for me, whatever. And my dad was a huge help through the construction stuff, just kind of bouncing ideas off of him, like, hey, where can we save money on this? Where can we save money on this? And he really helped us out a ton with giving us some guidance and some advice on the whole process.
Okay. Yeah. So how long did construction take for y'all?
It took about from the time that we started demoing, it took about 10 months.
Oh, wow. And y'all did like a straight down to the studs, four walls.
I mean, it was 4 walls and a roof. I mean, we tore up the floor. It was dirt in there. I mean, plumbing, electrical, the whole nine. So it's a brand new building, man. I mean,
I love it.
It's up to code. We got we got fire sprinklers. Like
if those listening or watching, if you haven't been to Tigerland pre-renovations,
right,
you just don't get it.
Yeah, you just don't. Look it up on Google.
Yeah, look or Instagram.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you've got this new building, all this new, great stuff. Did y'all have pizza before the renovations?
We did not. That was kind of a pivot that we made during COVID. I don't know how closely you followed kind of the restriction stuff, but
yeah, you had to serve hot food. It was hot food for a while.
Hot food.
Hot popcorn worked.
Yeah, yeah, it did.
But then they changed the rules on that.
Yeah. And so kind of when that was going on, we were like, man, this is pretty bad. I mean, it was like probably about September, October, we started thinking like, hey, maybe we should put a kitchen in because, the virus was skyrocketing, restrictions were only getting tighter. And so we were like, wow, man, I mean, we're doing all this and trying to make this building awesome. But if we can never use the building, then it was all a waste.
I mean, because at that time, the mindset was that, what if we're stuck in this repeat process, this loop of ever evolving rules, regulations, and we can't open back up without a kitchen.
Right.
But at the same time, for a bar, you're sacrificing your occupancy space.
Yeah.
I mean, because your building's only as big as it is. If you throw in a kitchen, that's going to take up a lot of space.
Yeah.
Like, if Earl's put a kitchen in the private room, that could knock out 50 people. Yeah. 50 people, if they buy one drink, I mean, you start looking at the numbers, it adds up.
Adds up. Absolutely. And, we were lucky enough. We did so the concept we came up with to try to use the least amount of space as possible, kind of to your point, was we're going to do a self-contained pizza oven. And it's a super high temp. It cooks a pizza in 90 seconds.
Ooh, I love that. Love that.
So it's quick. And it doesn't take up a whole lot of space. You don't need the vent hood, this, that, and the other. Now, we had a huge storage room that we already had in place. And so we were like, well, can we kind of like divvy this up and make half of it storage and make half of it a little kitchen? And so we explored that and it worked. And, I really enjoy doing the pizza. It's profitable and the customers really like it. And so I think we're going to stick with it. And if we don't stick with it, then we take out the oven and we got more storage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think pizza is a good choice.
It is.
Pizza is a good drunk
pizza
food.
slices, man. You'd be surprised. Drunk pizza slices.
Gosh. Well, and it gets people to stay there.
It does.
Because if not, they're like, oh, we got to leave early to go to, because there's more food places popping up around Tigerland. You got Smalls there.
Yeah.
Is there something on y'all side of the tracks as well?
We've got, we rent to.
It shows how often I go to Tigerland.
We rent our side parking lot to Big Cheesy, which is a grilled cheese place. They do like specialty grilled cheese. Yes,
okay, that's where they are.
Super good. If you ever have the opportunity to like, they're on Waiter. If you don't want to drive out there one night, like order it on Waiter. Awesome, fantastic. But yeah, they're out there, and so that's what usually the patrons of like the other 3 or 4 bars will hit up is they'll head to Big Cheesy. But what we've noticed since we reopened with the kitchen is that like we're getting people in earlier because now they're not going to Superior Grill and pre-gaming and eating food and then coming out at 11. Now they're just coming to us at 9 o'clock. They're going to eat a couple slices of pizza and then they're just going to do it all with us. And what we're noticing as well is, like you said, they're staying later. So like once they're drunk, like no need to walk outside and get a Big Cheesy. You can keep your beer in your hand and I've got a slice warmer with a hot and ready slice for you for $3. You know?
And what goes better with pizza? More beer.
More beer. Absolutely. Soak up the beer.
That's it. And now y'all, so what does the patio space look like now?
So,
because it was pretty sweet before. The patio space was pretty sweet before.
That was our best asset pre-renovation. So we it's the same space. We hung up a ton of string lights, built a new outdoor bar out there, got a turf seating with a wraparound bench on it, a ton of picnic tables, a stage for musicians or whatever. Or just dancing. It's a really cool area. It's a very relaxed area. So what we've noticed is like, if you're trying to really get after it, like it's your birthday or something, you're probably inside. If you're just coming to have a couple casual beers and hang out with your friends, eat some pizza, you're on the patio and the music's a little lower. You sit down, play some cards, play cornhole, whatever it is. And so we kind of noticed we almost are running 2 different venues in one. You come out of the patio, it's like a super relaxed vibe. You come inside and it's like a Vegas nightclub. It's like,
So do y'all ever have like 2 different bands or like 2 different musicians going at one time?
We haven't had the opportunity since COVID.
Okay.
But we this fall, absolutely. So like this fall, we're planning on having our regular DJ inside. Patio having it like a band, like a little jam band, and then the tent having a musician as well.
So where's the tent going to be?
So that big side parking lot that's between us and JL's.
Yep.
That is going to be a massive 60 by 100 tent with speakers all over the place, laser light show, a 24-foot LED wall. Wow. I mean, it's serious out there. Yeah, It's going to be a cool setup.
Dude, I love that.
It's good for game days.
Ooh, that's right. For game days. Because I think LSU, they said they're going full capacity.
100%.
100% capacity in the stadium, which is going to be huge.
Which is awesome for us.
Yeah. I mean, that revitalizes that. And also now you're going to start attracting an older crowd to your bar. Yeah. Which some kids may shy away from. But at the end of the day, the older crowd.
They spend more money. Absolutely.
Their card swipe just as well as the younger kids.
Absolutely. And sometimes better. Yeah. They're not afraid to put them down, for sure.
Gosh. So y'all are like really revitalizing that area. Have you, I'm sure y'all are close in that area. All the bar owners are close and talk. Have they started kind of asking you more about your kitchen side of things? Have they kind of been like, maybe we should put in a kitchen as well?
Yeah, I think, it was more like probably February and March. A couple of them reached out like, hey, like how hard is this permitting process? Do you think we could get one, this, that, and the other? Do you need a grease trap? Do you need a vent hood? Just kind of asking generic questions. But I think, recently, into last month, he lifted the governor lifted all the restrictions. And so, I think that kind of ship has sailed. They don't want to be in the restaurant business. I didn't really want to be in the restaurant business, but here we are.
It's a different business.
It's a different business. And I learned that quick. I was like looking up YouTube videos. I'm like, this could be super easy. I'm like, yeah, no big deal. It's just food.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're like, how the level of cleanliness the place has to be.
I'm like, health inspections, this, that, and the other, permits. Like I have 1,000-gallon grease trap in the ground now I got to clean. But yeah, I mean, it's a different beast. Tons of respect for restaurant owners now. I mean, that stuff's hard.
Well, and then you have to balance it, right? You have to as a bar owner, you make your money off people drinking those drinks and coming in and only drinking alcohol.
Yeah.
Now you throw in food. You can eat a pizza standing up.
Yeah.
But it's always nicer to eat a pizza sitting down or standing around a bar. So now you're like, okay, now we need seating. Now we need high boys. We need something more than just empty space for people to go out and drink their drinks.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's a whole different mindset you have to go into it.
It is. And I think that's why patio has been such a hit is majority of people that are coming, they're getting their pizza straight to the patio. They want to sit at a picnic table with 8 of their friends and, chill out, drink a beer, eat a slice of pizza, play some cards, hear some music in the background. And that's kind of the vibe of outside compared to the vibe of inside. So it's worked out well, but like you said, totally different vibe with food.
It's a different vibe, different mindset. Because now if you're eating food, beforehand, if somebody spills a beer, it's like, oh, it's whatever. But now it's like, hold on, don't ruin my pizza.
Right.
So you've got all these great renovations. One part in particular of your renovation, I want to take a deep dive in your bathrooms.
Okay. Let's talk about it.
Your bathrooms, which I find this concept really fascinating nowadays, an Instagrammable bathroom.
Yeah.
All right. You build which people you think you want to spend the least amount of time in, right? Which I know, you said your men's restroom is just a prison. So they go in there, use it, get out.
Absolutely.
You don't see a bunch of guys in the bathroom trying to take pictures and post them on Instagram. But your women's restroom, you show me a picture, that thing is vibrant.
It is. And so when we first opened with the COVID rules, everybody had to sit down, this, that, and the other. Like what we found was we've got a little counter. We had a little counter to check how many people were coming in so we didn't go over COVID occupancy. Well, we'd look around. We're like, well, we got 182 people that have come through that's on our clicker. And you look around, you're like, well, I only see 135. And so we would I was like, where is everybody? And our workers are like, they're all in the bathroom. And it's just there's 45 girls in there taking pictures, taking time, taking turns, I'll take a picture for your group as long as your group takes a picture for my group and back and forth. I mean, it's crazy.
Fascinates me.
Yeah.
That it's you build what y'all probably didn't, not look at it or just build a bathroom. I mean, I don't know if was it intentional to design something like that?
Yeah. So when we went to the architects, it was one of the first things I told them. I said, I want an Instagram wall. I said, I need something that is brandable for social media. I want tons and tons of tags on social media. And they kind of gave us the idea of let's do it in the bathroom. And that's when I was kind of talking about it with my mom, my sister, and my girlfriend. And they, to be totally honest with you, designed that thing. And
really?
They killed it. Yeah.
Well, kudos to y'all in the crowd for designing that bathroom. I saw a picture. It's legit.
They did a really good job.
I'll never be able to use it, but I can appreciate it.
I go in there sometimes when we're closed. I'm like, God, this place is awesome.
Lay on the couch.
Yeah. But yeah, my mom, Whitney, and Courtney did a great job with that and did the sign and, did those little 3D panels, the pink panels and the mirrors that have the light on it and, the neons and all that. And so really has been really big for our social media presence. We picked up a ton of followers since that thing. I mean, probably 500-600 followers.
Wow. Just from a bathroom.
In the last 3 months.
Dude.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's not just from the bathroom, but
maybe the whole renovation has something to do with it.
Yeah, maybe all of that has something to do with it. But 75% of our Instagram tags are bathroom pictures. It's just groups of girls in the bathroom. And they're like, oh my gosh, house is home. And it's ... ended up at home in the background and everybody knows where that's at. And so it's kind of become a thing hey, when you go out, you either take a Snapchat or you take an Instagram picture in front of that wall. And I think that's something that we have that other people don't have. Because the other thing is that, we talked about game days. Game days are huge for us. But when SEC schools come to town, they follow people that go to LSU. The kids that go to Ole Miss.
You're friends with a bunch of people from different universities.
Tons of people. And so they see that on their Instagram feed all the time. Like, well, when they play LSU, they're going to come to the house because they want to take a picture in front of the house sign. Yeah, because like that's what you do in Baton Rouge.
College students are the same.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so it's been really cool. Really cool.
Yeah, we had a conversation about that on Talk 107.3 in the morning with Brian Haldane. Yeah. We have a weekly segment with him where we talk business and entrepreneurship in the Baton Rouge community. And we legitimately spent a whole segment talking about Instagrammable walls and how businesses are adopting those walls.
It's so cool.
You know, it's fascinating. It's like one little wall. And like you're also segregating 50% of your clientele, maybe more than 50% of your clientele.
Yeah.
I mean, like, let's get real.
Yeah.
You know your guy-girl ratio is probably 75-25 or 70-30, something like that. You're ostracizing 70%.
A huge amount of them.
Of your customers.
Yeah.
But that 30% is able to draw in so many people because everyone sees it.
Yeah.
And with the rise and push of social media, it's like, I got to get that photo.
Absolutely.
You know, it's like just the walls. I mean, Earl's here, the big Earl sign. It's
see it all the time.
The photo, right? You know the photo. And when you see the photo and you don't have that photo.
Yeah.
You got to get the
photo.
photo.
You got to get the photo.
Gosh, I mean, that's just, how has that kind of played into like social media for y'all? I mean, I get at a point, it kind of just gets redundant as does it get redundant as a business owner, always seeing the same photo? And you're like, come on, we have a killer patio. We have a killer inside. Why are you just taking the bathroom?
I mean, that's kind of frustrating, but like stuff that we've just talked about internally and no idea if we'll do this or not. But like that one neon sign that you're talking about, the ... ended up at home. Like some ideas that we've had is like maybe let's change it out once a semester. Like let's get a new sign up there. Like honey, I'm home. I don't know. Like, you know, play off of the same kind of branding, but like let's get a new sign up there. Like let's make it something that like, okay, well you got the ended up at home sign, but you don't have the honey, I'm home.
You don't
sign.
have the new sign. It said retention, bring them back.
Right.
Or you throw something in the men's restroom.
Now we're talking.
Throw something in there to make them feel nice about themselves, and then you start playing that hype up.
Yeah.
I mean, because if you start doing a hype of it's like, oh, you know, the girls versus the guys, who's got the better Instagram post?
Yeah.
Now you've created, you know, from a business standpoint, you've created a reason for people to come to your establishment and take pictures and tag your establishment in it. Now you're building up hype, and the best free advertising is free advertising via word of mouth, AKA social
media nowadays. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's everything we do is all about like, how can we get this like free chatter? Like you're talking about like on social media, like, how do we get it on people's Snapchat stories? How do we like, do we have an awesome snap filter that's like just super funny and well-designed? So like, even like we set up our snap filter, our geofence or whatever for our Snapchat filter that you scroll over or whatever. And it says like Baton Rouge or this, that, and the other.
And then you can tap to change the locations.
Right.
Yeah.
So we set up our geofence for that to be all of Tigerland. And so like, we just like,
really,
even if you're at Reggie's, you can have the house geofence on it. So what we did was like, we're trying to design the most aesthetic geofence that you can possibly have. So like, even when people are like having a great time at another bar and like
they can start going through stories.
Yeah. Like they're going to just put the house on it. And like, you know, there's people that are from out of town or there's people that, you know, you don't know the difference, whatever. They're just like, wow, those people look like they're having a great time at the house. And so like, that's another thing that we just kind of do is just like, well, we're just gonna have a geofence for all of Tigerland. And if they want to use our filter, they can use our filter. And, you know, back to your point, everything's about nowadays, especially with college kids is social media, whether that's good or that's bad. That's the name of the game now.
It's the name of the game. It's the name of marketing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when you know your demographic, you know your target audience. I mean, like you said, it's 18 and 23-year-olds.
Yeah.
You know what they're about. Constantly having that feedback from your managers, your door people, you're able to stay attuned to that. So it's like, oh, what's the next big social media platform we need to be on? Which y'all are on TikTok.
We're getting started on TikTok,
which I love.
I love it.
How is TikTok going for y'all?
So we just started it. I think we got 2 videos.
Okay.
We're trying to get.
All it takes is one good one.
All it takes is one good one, which is what's so enticing about it, man.
Dude,
like it's like crazy. Like you put up one good post, and like if it's awesome content, the algorithm just takes it and it goes wild, and like you end up with like 20,000 followers.
I got spoiled. My first video was at Fat Boys.
Oh, no way.
Doing the pizza challenge. Doing the pizza challenge with 100.7 The Tiger. My first video, I put it up. It wasn't even of the challenge. It was just of us pre-challenge, like 180,000 views.
Jeez,
I was like, well, this is not going to be the normal.
Yeah.
Now it's like 5,000,
spoiled.
2,000. Now it's like 150.
Yeah,
I'm like, all right, that's more like
way
it. That's
spoiled
more
on
like
that.
it.
That is crazy. But
So-
that's what's so awesome about it.
Yeah, you have that power to reach those audience. I mean,
Yeah.
I was replying to people's comments like, "Where is this? Where is this?"
Yeah.
Then you get those great people. Oh, that's easy. I could do it. I could do it.
Okay.
Well, yeah, give it a shot.
Go
And
try
then-
it,
and then
man.
DM me. You know.
Tell me how that goes.
Yeah, but that free advertising, that free marketing, when you create that buzz and that focus on a platform that people just are attracted to organically,
Yeah.
you can't pay for that.
Nah.
I mean, a billboard, that's not going to do you anything.
No.
People are going to say, all right, cool, the house. Yeah, cool, the
Yeah.
house.
Whatever.
But it's that they live, it's like they feel like they live in that moment
Yeah.
at the place that draws them back to it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But what's next, man? What's next on the horizon?
So, our next hope is that part of our plan is we want to open the first 2-story bar in Tigerland. So we want to,
2-story.
we want to expand and do a little thing upstairs. And it's going to be called the attic, or that's what we think as of now, the house, the attic. And do like an open air type thing with, garage doors and kind of just do a rooftop type feel to it. And that's our next idea is just, we're looking to change the way that the LSU nightlife scene is. And it's been run the same way for 50 years. And it's like, well, we think it could be run better.
Yeah.
And so, we're looking to change it. And that's what we think is next for us. Yeah.
On the groups of the bar owners, are you the youngest?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think next owner is probably 40 and the rest are over 50.
So you got people that are 20 years out
Yeah.
of their demographic
Yeah.
running the bars.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's like key or a part of the success of the house is the
Yeah.
fact that it is that younger crowd running
Yeah.
the bar.
No, I think it is. And, like what we used to always say when we started is like, we're going to run a bar for college kids by college kids. Like, we know what y'all want. And like, because we want the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, we know we want great music. We know we like this DJ. We know we like this drink special. Like, we know people love T-shirts.
People love free
T-shirts.
stuff.
Love
Free
it.
T-shirts,
Love
free
it.
beer mat mugs.
Absolutely.
They love it all.
Love it. And so that's kind of what we do. And now, even though, Casey and I are starting to get a couple years removed from that demographic, like, we still have awesome manager. We have an awesome staff as a whole.
And that open line of communication.
Absolutely. And like, they know, like, hey, you come up with an awesome idea, like, we're going to give you credit for it. We're going to be like, yeah, that guy came up with it. Like, don't pat me on the back. That was him.
Right. That was their idea, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Dude, okay, so as we kind of get to wind up the show, we got a little set list of questions we like to ask people. Very, very difficult questions. First one, what is something you did as a kid you wish you could still do today?
Oh, man. Play sports. 100%.
What sport?
Football.
What's your sport?
Football.
Okay.
Loved football.
Which position?
I played quarterback.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was just, I like the competitiveness, but at the same time, just like the teamwork and just like thinking back to high school football, like you're waking up at 7:30 a.m. 5 days a week to go to workouts during the summer when everybody else is having a good time all night or whatever. And just like you have your teammates that you're working towards one goal with. And I always thought that was just super fun. And then when it all came together during the season, like you won a big game or this, that, and the other, it was just awesome to celebrate with the people that also sacrificed to reach that goal. And I thought that was really fun. And just being competitive, like, to go out there and be like, I want to beat you. We think our team is better than your team. Like, let's prove it.
And now you've just transposed that into owning a bar.
Yeah.
I think my bar is better than your bar. Let's
Right.
go.
That's the other thing that we do is like we try to keep our staff competitive. Like, it's all super friendly, but like we'll pick a little fight, with some of the other bars.
A good Twitter battle is always good.
Absolutely.
There's no harm in that.
We'll pick a little fight because I like to get the boys riled up and they respond to it and they get competitive and they buy in and they're like, well, no, like, y'all are going to get 300 people in there tonight. Well, watch us get 400 people in there tonight. And they start getting all their friends to come out and this, that, and the other. And so, they love the competitiveness and I do too.
Hey, man, I love it.
Yeah.
So what are 3 lessons you've gathered along the way? Man, you're only in this for a few years.
Yeah, I don't have as
but
much
it sounds
wisdom.
like quite a roller coaster of a few years.
Yeah.
I mean, you're four and a half years in, you've had to deal with the pandemic.
Yeah.
Some people went 30 years and never had to deal with the pandemic.
100 years.
Or 100 years.
Yeah, man, I don't have as much wisdom as the other people that I've seen on your show, but
you got some in there.
Yeah, I would say number one would be what you are. So like, you know, don't try to like focus your brand or make your brand into something that it's not. Like go with the flow. Like if you're fitting into this subset of market and it's doing really well, well then like lean into that and do it. Like be what you are. Don't try to force your brand into something that it's not. And so I think that's number one. Not that I have a whole lot of 2 or 3, but that's a big one that I've actually learned is be what you are.
No, 100%. Being able to recognize my crowd is 18 and 23.
Yeah.
I don't need to be searching out the 28, 29, the 30-year-olds. You know, there's another place that can suit them much better.
Exactly.
I'll keep that younger crowd.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Exactly right.
So what is something you love about Baton Rouge?
Man, if you talk to my friends, I always tell people like my partner's from New Orleans.
Okay.
And like, I'll always tell him like, man, New Orleans sucks. Baton Rouge is the greatest city in the world. Because he's always running around. He's like, New Orleans is the greatest city in the world. I'm like, Baton Rouge is the greatest city in the world. Don't get caught up on it. My other manager's from Lafayette. And I'm just like, he's always like, oh man, Lafayette's awesome. I'm like, Baton Rouge, I'd say Lafayette wants to be Baton Rouge so bad that it hurts. But
well, you hit him with the ultimate reply. You work for me. The bars in Baton Rouge. Next question.
But no, dude, I think it's the food and the people and obviously LSU football, awesome. But the people, I grew up here, super, you know, everybody's so nice. I mean, honestly, like everybody, like if you have a flat tire on the side of the road, like somebody, you know, it might take 10 or 15 cars, but like somebody's probably going to pull over and help you. Like,
yeah, someone will stop. Like,
just like, you know, it's the people, man. I mean, it's Southern hospitality. I don't know what you call it, but I mean, it's the people.
Dude, and that's, I mean, we've done, I think you're episode 89 or something, and a majority of them have always been the people. Like the people are what make this city so amazing.
Absolutely.
And then you've got the food.
Yeah. Lanyap.
I mean, come on. Like you can't top that. And then combine that with the people. It's like, why wouldn't you want to be here? Why wouldn't you want to run a business here? Why wouldn't you want to come live here? It's like, it's, you know, it's almost, there's no question as to why you would want to be here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for the final question, man, what can I do to help you?
Man, keep doing what you're doing and trying to help us, you know, get the word out that Tigerland isn't just every bad story you've seen in a news cycle over the last 10 years or whatever. Like, you know, there's good people out there that are running real businesses out there that are trying to do what they can to be the best for their customers and be the best for their employees and be the best for the area. And you know, just getting that positive message out instead of just like always just the negative of our area, which I think a lot of other areas in town that probably should get the same press we get away with. But, you know, keep putting it out there that, you know, Tigerland has good people in it too. You know, we're trying to do right by our customers, by our employees, by the community. And you know, we're just trying to make it like everybody else.
Well, dude, that I'll do what I can for that matter. You know, I'm gonna have to come back out and visit.
You might have to come get a beer.
I'm outside of the range.
Yeah,
of the demographic.
That's all right. We'll stick you on the patio.
That's it. I'll take the patio. I'll take a slice of pizza.
Absolutely.
Ice cold beer, man. We'll make it work.
Absolutely.
Well, Jeff, man, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Patrick. It was awesome.
Dude, it was a blast. I was like, we could have kept going, but I got a time. I got a hard cutoff time.
Stop.
We gotta stop at. So thank you everybody else for being either in person or tuning in, whether it be through video or the audio format. I really appreciate it. And I know that the guests do as well. And also a big thanks to our lovely 2 sponsors, Falaya Real Estate, which is a local Baton Rouge-based app that is used to change the name of selling and purchasing your home. If you need to sell or purchase a home, be sure and reach out to them. Tell them Patty G sent you. And also, as you can tell from all the stuff on the table, our new sponsor, Government Taco. Me and Jay, we go back a couple years, and his new place right there on Government Street, right down the street from Jefferson, is fantastic. Their margaritas are delicious, and they always have some really unique tacos on the menu. Again, be sure to tell them Patty G sent you. Well, everybody, this is the latest rendition of the Patty G Show. I'm your host, Patty G, here with Jeff from The House. If y'all are in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and y'all want to have a great time at a bar, go check out The House. Tell them Patty G sent you. And also, if you're a lady, stop in the bathroom, take a pic, post it, and let them know you love it. Thank y'all so very much. We're out.